What's up guys, CyberHoudini here and welcome to your daily dose of gaming. It is Friday, we're in April, can you believe that? But it is the lovely Easter bank holiday. It's so beautiful outside and yes, I'm inside playing video games. What the hell is wrong with me? But it's gonna be an awesome Easter weekend. I got Monday off, I can't fucking wait. Yes, today is like technically Good Friday over here and it's kind of like down the line whether you're supposed to have the day off or not, but nobody does squat today, nobody does anything. As long as everyone gets their money, they're like, that's fine, that's fine. Barbecues all across the land are sold out, the usual stuff. It's so bright now I can't even cover the sun. Good God. Alright, so we got some good news for you today. Very, very nice. Thank you for joining me, guys. DPG and Lenny, hello. Yeah, that was insane yesterday. Danny went and did like a 19-hour stream, played through the whole of Blasphemous. It was amazing to watch. Watching him fight those last couple of bosses after, you know, 18 hours of streaming. I couldn't do it and I was pretty fresh, but he did a great job. Jesus Christ. That last Chrysanta one, or what's her name? Chrysanta, something like that. Christina, I don't know what her name was, but she took me hours, absolute hours, because I was so stubborn. I didn't have the immunity when you heal, you know. So he had this cool little thing: when you drink, you have a little brief moment of immunity. It's really helpful. So I had to rethink everything, but you know, I like to brute force things, and it ends up going south. But he did it. Massive respect to Danny for doing that all in one go. He pretty much 100% of the game. It's warm over there. I'm jealous. It's 8 degrees. Yeah, the sun is splitting the stones. It's crazy. Crazy. Well, let's see how long it lasts, right? For the next few minutes, anyway. So, yeah, all the barbecues. As soon as the heat comes out over here in Ireland, everybody strips off. The barbecues come out, even in the COVID lockdown.
Like
Barney! Well, it's the weekend. It is the weekend. It is the weekend. Finally. Whew. I played a little bit of Outriders yesterday, and it is very rough. I kind of want to try it again today, but I think the servers are just getting completely smashed. But yeah, let's get on to the news for today. We got some nice news. Maybe some bad news for DBG, though. Well, we'll see. We'll start off with some brand new gameplay for Resident Evil Village. Now, IGN usually do their IGN first stuff. I don't really read anything that comes out of them, but unfortunately, you know, being a big, you know, publication like they are, they do get a lot of exclusives, and that includes some Resident Evil Village news. So that's going to be their IGN first game of the month. So all across this month, they're going to show us more of Resident Evil Village. The thing is, I actually am done looking at footage. We're going to watch this now, but I'm going to try and, like, you know, not even take it in, because they've shown way too much of this game now. It's coming out next month, you know, we are a month away from this, and I feel like I know most of the story, and that's a little unfortunate. It's just the way it goes. They're also meant to be doing another event for it, Capcom themselves, so I don't know. I mean, is there a thing of over-marketing your game? Possibly. Anyway, we're going to start things off. You can see the beautiful 9-foot-tall, sexy vampire lady that took over the internet for a while. Lady Demetrescu, I think that's her name, or Demetrescu? There we go. Lady Demetrescu. I can never say it right the first time. She has gotten so big now, literally, that in Gamescom in Korea, I think it was, they have like a life-size cardboard cutout of her. Which is so funny. I can just see someone bringing that home on the subway, you know? And it'll take up a whole subway card. But yeah, this looks amazing. I did manage to play the Maiden demo, which was very short and sweet, you know, and not even 10 minutes long. It was a nice look. This footage you're looking at right now is on PS4 Pro. I have heard that the initial delay the game got was because of the older systems. Now, I wouldn't say the Pro and the Xbox One X are causing too much trouble. It's mainly just the standard PS4 and Xbox One. But yeah, it's a little, it could be a little bit rough around the edges for sure. We're getting to that point. You're going to see it very much this year and next year, where these consoles, the older kind of generation, are going to really show their age. You know, I mean, there's still a lot of life left in them, but yeah, when it comes to these newer games, they're going to want to push things. Hopefully, what I'm mostly excited for this game is improvement with enemy variation and that, and it looks like they've really nailed that. Like, it's not always a bad thing when you don't have too many different enemies, as long as you don't have the same character models, if that makes sense, you know? So, say like Resident Evil 4, did end up having a lot of the same kind of villagers, and then you moved on, you had those crazy monks. But they were enough, and they had different weapons and that you always felt like you were going up against something different, you know. Might have looked the same, but we'll see. This one is definitely leaning heavily into Romanian folklore, urban legends and things like that, you know. We've got our coven of witches, you know, even maybe talks of like Dracula. We've got werewolves. It's really cool. We'll see how far this goes. Look at the blood down there. My goodness. Is it blood? Is it wine? We don't know. We'll ask Geralt. But he's blood and wine. But yeah. Seems like it's, you can already tell it's kind of chopping around the Christmas tree there a little bit. But they seem to be very happy with the new direction of Resident Evil. I am too, you know. I like that the remakes are staying true to the classics while this new trilogy is going FPS and that. It would be nice to do both. I always say both is best. Evil Within seemed to strike that balance where they added the first person mod in themselves as another mode, you know. I really like that. I wish they do that. Seeing as we got a little cameo from Chris in 7, I'm going to play 7 before this comes out, just as a little refresher, and it's such a great game anyway. But it'd be really nice to see, you know, someone else cameo on this one, you know. Seeing as this feels like a spiritual successor to Resident Evil 4, I would absolutely love a Leon Kennedy cameo. You know, Chris did look very different. So maybe Leon look a little bit different too. Who knows? Cyber, how's it going? Props! How did you get on with Outriders yesterday, Props? I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. I tried a little bit myself. It was a game I was on the fence, and just when they added to the Game Pass, I was like, fuck it. Why not? You know? But yeah, I hope you got to play some, but dude, I'm only playing it on all Xbox, so it was crashing and server issues, and yeah. But I was enjoying my time with it, you know? I can see what they were saying. They're not necessarily chasing after the other shooters. They're doing their own thing, and I like that. We had a blast. Awesome. Hopefully things were a little bit better on the server side for you. Oh, there she is. What's funny is, oh Jesus, yeah, a lot of stutter there. What's funny is she has just become this goddamn sexual icon. It's amazing. Everybody wanting her to step on her. Dimitrescu. She is the leader of the Witches' Code. My god, she's got it everywhere, right? Holy moly. Usually the tall chicks, no offense, but they're, you know, a little bit slimmer, you know. But god damn, gee, she is literally an hourglass. Good god. Right, Props. Oh my god, for days. And she's 9 foot tall, she could swallow you whole. I'm not talking about her mouth. Oh shit. Oh god. But yeah, are you thinking of playing this one, Props? The more I check the news, the more good news comes out about Stadia, I swear to god. Today seems to be the Apple... Look at that! Damn! The power! Today seems to be more news about Apple Arcade. Some good news in terms of, you know, developers getting support, but hopefully it'll come to other platforms. Let's move straight over to that. Boop, boop. We have it here. I put everything up here and it gets a little bit jumbled. But I have it over here. So basically, Apple Arcade, after adding another 20 games, one of them is actually from Platinum Games, and it looks like Okami. This game right here, this gorgeous game, is the brand new game from the legendary developer of Final Fantasy, Hironobu Sakaguchi, who went on to found Mistwalker that made Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey, and then he kind of got into some mobile gaming stuff, and unfortunately, the Western market, we're not ready. We're not exactly ready for mobile gaming. We don't take it too seriously. But this is his brand new game. It's called Fantasia. And if you couldn't tell, those backgrounds are made with real handcrafted dioramas. It's so cool. It's so cool. The amount of love put into this game. Now, he has said that this may be his last game. So please go out there and support this. You know, I don't have an Apple device myself, but it is on Apple Arcade. Hopefully he'll put it on the other systems. Like, now is the time. I feel like he's got burnt because of his days over with Xbox and that he went to mobile, you know. It's like he just ran to mobile. And maybe he's a little bit apprehensive trusting the console market. But with the Switch doing better than ever, oh, now is the time. Like, there's like all these new RPGs going on to Steam as well. There's just it feels like a renaissance, doesn't it? Feels good. And then we have a lot of these games coming out that have that old school PS1 graphics. Oh, So yeah, I need this in my life. It looks amazing, absolutely amazing. It's hard to find some of the pictures, but you can actually see him making some of the dioramas. He's even like working with some of the legendary composers of Final Fantasy. Look at it. Look at this here. Like, it's all built like models, and then they capture it, and you know they put all their. It's so cool. They put all their 3D models and the whole game basically into it then. It's very cool. Very similar to what they did back in the old school RPGs where they would have the hand-drawn, pre-rendered backgrounds, you know. Good God. I have 7 free. Yeah, dude, that would be amazing. Hell yes. Sign me up. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, it's so good, dude. 7 is great. Looks like 2B in the middle. Right, I do see that. There is definitely a lot of these kind of silver-haired heroines. I like it. But yeah, I of course found an article yesterday. Didn't save it to my bookmark. And then for some reason, Twitter only loads like 200 tweets or whatever. But yeah, everything is done, handcrafted in the background. You've got that classic turn-based. You can see an ATB gauge. Sorry, I'm all twisted. Yeah, in the bottom right corner, where you're kind of loading up your turns. If this is going to be... He had another game called Terra Battle, but that never made it over here. Terra World, Terra Battle, which made me sad. Because I want to support him. I think, you know, he is what made Final Fantasy. I'm sorry, but once he left, that's when things started to get quite muddied, you know. We still got some absolute classics out of it. But I think he left after... 6, I believe. 6 was his last one, and he considers that his magnum opus, you know. He never stops bringing that up, and he shouldn't, because it is a masterpiece. It is a goddamn masterpiece. But yeah, I'd love to play this. Something about the idea. I can't find it now, but there's one of the bedroom shot. Look at that. Like, that's a diorama. I'm gonna have to find. There's one, they made one of those kind of like royal bedrooms, and it looks like a porcelain dollhouse. It's insane. This is called Fantasia. I know it might make you think of Disney's Fantasia. I get that completely. Let me find a picture of this. This can't go unnoticed. This sucks that a lot of here we go. Bum 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 bum. Sucks that a lot of the articles are just kind of drip feeding it. Maybe it's down here. No, we're just getting into other news there. God damn it. I really want to show you this one shot, because I couldn't believe it. When they zoomed out, I was like, holy moly. Here we go. Let's just get rid of the ads. Here's a great way of getting rid of the ads. Just zoom the fucking page in and they all disappear. Goodbye, ads. I hate you. Goodbye. Look at this. Like, this is done like a... It's real. It's real. It's a real diorama. And you can actually, because it's closed in, you can actually get a better feel for how the character models interact with the environment. Oh, I need to find that shot. There's a great shot where they took some pictures of Sakaguchi himself, like, working on it, and just the smile on his face. Unfortunately, he did have, like, a lot of kind of creative differences, if you want to say, over at Square Enix and that. I love that word, creative differences. I swear to God, people can be, like, fighting in the middle of the development studio and just say they had creative differences. I'm gonna use that the next time I get into a drunken brawl. Let's see how far that gets me. Alright, here we go. Tim Cook. So this was you know, Apple themselves actually coming and visiting them over at Mistwalker. Apple Arcade Meet the Creators. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm so in love with this. You know, I want these kind of RPGs to come back. That I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this. Let me just find a little bit of the interviews. These are all the new games coming to the Apple Arcade. Now, I think if you have Apple TV, I want to say, I'm not too sure on that kind of stuff. Yeah, here we go. Here's the part with Hironobu Sakaguchi. And he's not even that old, like, you know. But you know how it is in Japan. People don't age over there. Like, it's crazy. Look at them. They built. These are all handcrafted. Like, it's in... to have that kind of passion that far into your career is so impressive. You can truly tell this guy loves it. Look at that! Look at that! Oh my God. It looks so cool. You know, my first instinct, of course, is to say something like, oh, this is wasted potential on the Apple Arcade. But look, at the end of the day, video games are so expensive, and they're getting more expensive to make. So, you know, if you can get that kind of backing, we all hate exclusivity, but At the end of the day, it's the difference between the game getting made or not, you know. But I hope it does make it over here and we get it on everything, you know. Because the best games deserve to be on every platform. I hate people in console wars and all that kind of stuff. It's all silly. Alright, is that all? Come on now, let's get back to the... Sorry. Damn, I could have sworn I saw a shot of him standing in front of them. Well, that sucks. Bum, bum, bum. Maybe I missed some of it. I wouldn't be surprised. It was such a big get for Xbox at the time. Holy crap. You know, and he ended up making... Was it like 3 games for them, I think? But at the time, they got a little bit lost. Even though they were on Xbox 360, which is probably the best selling Xbox. The issue was, it was such a Western-focused console, you know? That a lot of people... They even do it now. Like, I hate when people will just look at any anime and just go, oh, weeb shit or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Look at what this person has created. Like, get over yourself. Here you go. Look at these. These are some of the dioramas. I think it's a bad shot there. There's Tim Cook. But that one there in the middle, right beside Sakaguchi, is actually that same porcelain-style bedroom that I just showed you. Sorry, I know I kind of go on a little bit with these things, but it's just, it's so amazing to see this kind of talent, you know, still happening. I do actually like the name Fantasia. There's something cool about it. I love Doritos. Why you got a problem with Doritos? Because I got man from Walmart. Yeah, exactly. Good lord. Alright, cool. So, on to the next piece of news. DPG, I know you'll be a bit pissed about this one, but TT Games have announced a small delay with the new LEGO Star Wars game. It looks like no game is truly exempt from the COVID delays. It is what it is, you know. Everybody's just trying to get back to normal. In this case, just survive, you know. So, I think that's the most important thing. It looks like it's still probably coming, you know, this year. It's still, they're basically redoing all 9 of the games, you know, and putting them all together in a cohesive game. I know you can say what you want about LEGO games, you know, definitely might have been something more aimed for kids, but I think they're really funny. And, you know, a lot of my consoles, when I first bought them, they all came pre-packaged with at least one LEGO game. So a lot of my first experiences with these consoles was actually with a LEGO game, and I used to love it, you know. Especially with the, you know, with the invention of achievements and that at the time. I remember playing LEGO Indiana Jones and went on to LEGO Star Wars, and just great fun, you know, just great little pick up and play fun. So yeah, in this one they're making it open world and everything. We'll see. I know that a lot of the LEGO games, in my opinion, have kind of slowly started to go downhill a little bit just because they had kind of milked certain series. You know, I think the Marvel games ended up getting like, I don't know, 6 games, but so did DC as well. But they went and did like DC Supervillains 1 and 2 and that Lego Movie, Lego Batman, so much. But yeah, they're still a great team. Like, they're based out of the UK, and we know the UK has been bleeding a lot of talent over the years, sadly. Just a lot of studios been shut down. You hate to see that, because I think an important part of what makes video games so great is the fact that you have people from around the world working on them, you know? Every creed, every you know what I mean? I love that. I absolutely love that. And I see it more in indie games. That's why I love indie games so much. One day I'm playing a game from a development team in Taiwan, the next in South Korea, the next in Spain, you know? It's wonderful. And just to see, it feels like you're almost like getting in touch with more people around the world, you know? Connection through video games. I know it seems kind of crazy, but it's really cool, because as someone who's not visited most of those countries, it's a nice little look into it. Like, even people, you know, can rag on Ubisoft, but I do agree what they're doing. I'm happy with what they're doing with Prince of Persia. They have their own Ubisoft India team working on it, you know? Who would know Persia better than Indian people, you know? It's the best. It's the best. So they could really bring out the beauty in Prince of Persia, and I'm excited for that. So let them take their time. Hell yes. So yeah, there's no actual updated release date, but these kind of games, you know, it'll be this year. It'll definitely be this year. On to the next piece of news. I did mention it earlier. In a very unprecedented move, MLB The Show 21 is actually coming to Xbox Game Pass day 1. Oh my god. This is a series that was PlayStation exclusive. And for them to do this feels very much like Xbox flexing their muscles. My goodness. So that means, like, Sony, the place where MLB The Show has lived for many years, they will have to go out there and buy that game for $70. But Xbox Game Pass owners just have to keep the Game Pass going, and you get it basically almost like for free. It's like for free, man. It's to me, like, I know free is a foolish way of putting it, but it's the same as getting free PS Plus games or games with gold. You know, once you have the subscription, you're doing it. How's it going, you mad wanna conky? Hello. Happy Friday, dude. It's the fucking weekend. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all excited. I don't know if you guys get the long weekend off. We get Easter Monday off, so I'm excited. I'll be excited. Can't wait to pick it up. Yeah. You still have the receipt? Very nice. Hold on to it. So it's going to be a little wait longer. I wouldn't say it'll go all the way to fall, though, but we'll see. Who knows? I'd say something like, you know, July or August. So yeah, it hasn't said anything. It says Xbox Game Pass. I still think they need to just, you know, sort out the idea between the PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass. They should be one, you know. I know some of the devs don't want to work like that, so that's the issue. They want to maybe just bring their game to PC. It's easier for them, or stuff like that. I don't know what the reasoning behind that, but it causes a lot of confusion in the Game Pass community, because you're like, is it on the fucking console? No, it's not. But then it'll go on PC 2 months later. Like, one case would be Nier Automata, which has nearly been on the Game Pass, the Xbox Game Pass, a year, but it only went on the PC Game Pass, you know, a couple of months ago. But yeah, so it's a little bit confusing. So we'll see about that. Still an amazing get for Xbox. Like, they're definitely making all the right moves, and a lot of it seems to be kind of, you know, all right, what did we not have last generation? Get that. What did the other side have? Get that. And PlayStation are doing the same as well. You can see each of them kind of cherry pick their indie devs. You know, they'll pick a next game from their indie devs and go like, oh, we'll get this one exclusive. We'll do this. We'll do that. But anyway, Sony will always have a little bit of the edge because of them being a Japanese first studio. So they have always got their foot in the door when it comes to Japanese exclusives. But, you know, the word on the grapevine is that Persona 5 will be coming to the Game Pass. But we'll see about that. Leaving for work in and out. Oh, okay, yeah, you've got like a different shift. No worries, dude, no worries. As long as you got some time off the weekend, maybe have a few beers, little cheeky barbecue. You know how Ireland is. We can't help ourselves. A little bit of sun comes out and every barbecue in a 25 fucking kilometer square mile block there. Gone. There's some metrics for you right there. The metric system and why it failed us. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Alright, cool. I was kind of gushing a little bit over Sakaguchi and his new game, Fantasia. Let's see, on to the next little piece of news. I recently talked about the PS3, PSP, and PS Vita store shutting down in July. But over at VGC, they've actually managed to correlate how many games are actually going away. And it's coming down to 2,200 games will be gone. Just like that, gone. And in a weird little side effect of it, some of those games will then become Xbox exclusive almost. It'll be the only place to buy them, you know, which is so silly. Like Beyond Good and Evil HD, Lara Croft, Guardian Light, Bionic Commando, if you're into those. But yeah, it just sucks. I had heard a rumor that they're trying to work on some kind of you know, digital emulator inside the PS5. Kind of, I don't know about that. Like, a lot of patents happen, but very rarely any of them mount to anything. It's just the way it goes. Patents a lot of the time is just their way of guaranteeing ownership of an idea. It doesn't mean they're going to use that idea, you know. But I would love to see that, because I know what's happening between the legacy content on consoles these days is atrocious. You know, Nintendo are seriously dropping the ball, but it is clear that they are doing it in some hopes of selling it all back to us some other way. You know, whether it's through the mini consoles for $100, we'll give you 20 games on it that run piss poor on an emulator, or, you know, the online feature with the NES online stuff that Nintendo's trying to do, you know. It's sad to see the Virtual Console go away on Nintendo, because I think the Virtual Console actually was the one thing that probably brought in the idea of backwards compatibility with Xbox. You know, they realized that because, you know, Xbox having the best legacy support just seems kind of foolish, because, you know, there's not a whole lot of games that you go back there and go, damn, you know. There are some classics, of course, but not to the likes of Nintendo. and PlayStation. Like, Jesus, when I look back at PlayStation, I'm like, oh, I don't even want to look at it. It was just the option to buy and play a PS3. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Pyro. Just make it how Xbox is doing it, you know? Here's the thing. If they just put them all, every single one of those games on the PS Now, I'd play it that way. I don't... Like, PS Now is there to be used. Sony really need to remarket that thing. Now, recently they did actually try and match the price of Xbox Game Pass, so they're doing $1 for a month of PS Now. It's a great system. Like, use PS Now. It's good fun. You're basically... I think for the PS4 games, you download the game and play them, very much like the Game Pass. But anything lower than that, like PS3, PS2, I think you are streaming it from the console, so it is at the mercy of your own internet. And in some cases, the console itself. So on baseline PS4, you can have a little bit of issue. The issue I have right now with PS Now, it's not even the price. I'm okay with $10 a month. The issue I have is the resolution, the quality. So when you go back and play some of those games, you are playing them exactly how they were released. And in some cases, like Infamous 1, that is 540p. And you can tell, you can really tell. I don't expect them all to get remastered or immediately jump to 1080p, but the power is there in those consoles. It is there, you know, they're mini PCs at the end of the day. Whether the console war fanboys don't want to admit that or not, they are mini PCs. And they can scale up and they can scale down. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. Anyway, so on to the next piece of news. We have, I don't know if you guys remember Dean Hall. He was one of the, basically the creators of what we know now as like DayZ and the start of the Battle Royale genre. When he kind of left all that behind, there was a lot of nonsense over there. I don't know what the hell happened. Another one of those creative differences. He ended up starting his own company. He hasn't had too much success, but everybody has been waiting on his next game, and this is what it seems to be here. His brand new one called Icarus. It seems to be like a survival game, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, he just launched a trailer for it, which is a complete, almost movie, you know, which I don't know how much that's gonna sell your game. Jesus Christ, why does every video have to be full volume? We are not deaf yet! Oh! Yeah, so this trailer for it is all live action. It's not indicative of what the game actually looks like. But still pretty nice.
Big planet-sized dream that came crashing down.
Yeah, I can't remember what his studio's called. It's like Rocket Guns or Rocket something. Rocket Works. There you go. Boop. Anyway, so yeah, if you're a fan of those kind of games, he's another one of those people in the industry just to keep an eye out, you know. Same with like Ken Levine and Hideo Kojima, people like that. You know, you keep an eye on these people because, you know, hate or love their games, they are kind of visionaries, and you know, they definitely make some incredible stuff.
Yeah, she was there when it all went to hell.
I think he's New Zealand. I think he might be New Zealand based.
That wasn't her style.
This is the worst thing about a trailer like this. It's got great quality, you know, the shots are great, but it's not gonna help you sell a game. I'm sorry. But yeah, it does seem to be very cool. Another little space kind of survival game. I know we have many of those, unfortunately. It's one of those genres that everybody wants to dip their toes in. But the way I put it is, you kind of have to separate it as its own genre. That's what I do with zombie games, you know. The same with, like, I do with zombie movies. And I know they're horror movies, but I feel like they stand on their own. The whole zombie genre. It's like a little sub-genre. It's easier when you do it like that. Terraforming went to shit. I love that they put that put that in there. All right, cool. Let's see. Okay, we did the Fantasian. Oh, did I end up finding that? I just can't get over the attention to detail. It's like something you'd see in stop motion. My goodness, so cool. Like the little wine glass and everything. I need to play that game so bad. Alright, so I was talking about this. Platinum Games have been silently working on so many games. And this brand new one is also out on... it's also out on Apple Arcade. It is called World of Demons. And to me, it feels like a spiritual successor to Okami. You can immediately see that it is, you know, cell shaded, just gorgeous. It's just dripping with, don't blow my ears out. It's dripping with color and style. Yeah, this is also exclusive to the Apple Arcade right now, but trust me, hopefully we will get these games coming to other consoles. This looks amazing. It looks like a, you know, Okami with a shinobi blade. Now there has been long rumor of them doing another Okami. We'll see. The issue may have been that somebody saw this trailer and thought that this was Okami too. This is what happens with rumors. That's why I'm always, you know, apprehensive about talking about rumors. I feel like I'm going to disappoint somebody. So yeah, somebody might have seen this and thought it was Okami too. But to me, if that does not look like Okami, what does? Looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. Platinum Games are no slouch. Combat looks fucking sick. Yo! World of Demons. Hell yeah. So there you got two like legendary Japanese developers putting exclusive games on Apple Arcade. Very interesting. Apple splashing the cash for sure. You see everybody doing it right now. It's insane how much money is flowing around. It's crazy, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Exclusivity is not, but these developers getting to, you know, live their dream, live their passion, and get to release their games. That is important. That is important. Hopefully, you know, things are a little bit different now. These games won't get just lost forever. Like we have some of those classic RPGs just gone. Gone to the wind. Looks great, right? Holy crap. So yeah, that might be what's going on. There's a reason why everyone switched from H1Z1 to PUBG. That is true. That is true. Yeah. It was DayZ was a broken mess, but it was the start of it, dude. It was the start. Both H1Z1 and even PUBG, all of those. PUBG is a pretty big mess too. It's fine now, but dude, that was a disgrace when it started. You would flip your vehicle over if you even touched a rock. But yeah, they're all based on mods of like the Arma games, you know. But you know, it was DayZ is definitely the birth of that genre, for sure. It really was. Even H1Z1 was a mess as well. Good God! But it got really big at the time because there was nothing quite like it. For a short period of time, like even that was the game that made Dr. Disrespect huge, was H1Z1. Alright, on to the next little piece of news. We're going back to our old friend Jeff Keighley. He's talking about the Summer Game Fest, which is basically his little thing he does at E3. Now, the reason I bring this up is he has said that it will be just taking place over the course of June. This is good news because last year we had 3 months of kind of stalled news. It was a lot of fun, but it's kind of like when you sit down and watch a 4-hour movie in one go. You feel tired and deflated, and someone stole your wallet. So yeah, them keeping it to like, you know, June, even a full month, is still so much news. So much news. But it's good that he's doing that. You know, Jeff Keighley, it's one of those guys, you might hate him, you might love him, but he has done and still does a lot for the industry, you know. This is the guy who has created the Game Awards from the ground up, all out of his own budget, and it's still one of our favorite things at Christmas, you know. It might be just one of those things you like watching for the cringe, you know. But you know, it's a nice little celebration of video games. You know, it's definitely our Oscar moment for sure. But yeah, really cool. Summer Game Fest, hell yes. Hell yes, Jeff Keighley, they're still putting in a lot of hard work, even as someone who usually is, you know, globe-trotting around meeting these other studios and is stuck inside like the rest of us. Even there recently when Microsoft announced that they bought Bethesda, both Phil Spencer and Aaron Greenberg had to fly out to Bethesda to have that little sit-down, you know. And it was insane. It was like something, they had to go, like, they had like a police escort and all this kind of stuff. It's insane. Because you cannot be flying around. You can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. But it was something they felt was important, you know. They wanted to do it in-house. And I actually think that little stream where they announced the news and talked about each studio, I think that was really, really well done, you know. It didn't feel like PR fluff. It was kind of just like a whole lot of friends coming. It actually looked like an AA meeting or something. But it was good. It was just a whole lot of friends getting together. I appreciate that. Yes, it is all PR at the end of the day, but at least it felt a little more human than what we usually get. You know? Alright, on to the next piece of news. Any Doom fans out there? Limited Run have been killing it. Absolutely killing it. Thanks to OJJ as well. Like, he always keeps me informed in limited run stuff. I swear that guy has a vendetta against my wallet. But there is a very, very cool collection coming out. They're calling it the Classics Collection for Doom. And yeah, there's a whole physical edition. It looks amazing. So any classic Doom fans out there, this is a must buy. Here's the thing about limited run. All of their stuff, they never overprice. They never overprice. Now, you might get screwed in, you know, delivery and stuff like that. Shipping costs. I don't know. But look, that's so cool. Look, this USB is a floppy disk. I love it. Oh, there's been a lot of love for Doom, obviously, with Doom Eternal, and absolutely roaring reception for its new DLC. But the classic Dooms are no slouch as well. Holy crap, I mean, that's where it all started. And I love that you can play the classic Dooms and the newer Doom games and not really feel cheated at all, you know? It feels like a logical, natural step forward. And they're fucking fast as hell. Alright. H1Z1 was never not a mess. No, none of those games were never not a mess, even to this day. But people still love them, and it just goes to show, if the gameplay is solid and it's addictive, it doesn't matter too much. Like, you know, I don't know if it's as big anymore now, but the newest one was Escape from Tarkov, and that's a hot mess as well. But people love that, because it's like, it's closest to like more of a simulator, but also battle royale. Watching YouTube, The Last of Us 2, but then it actually went, yeah, watching Taboo, exactly, yeah, that's what it became. It really became an Oscar moment. It was so funny. Yeah, like, speaking of which, like, Doom should have walked away with more. Same with Animal Crossing. It was foolish, and I know what happened there. Like, it was a bit of a travesty. Like, as much as I think Last of Us Part 2 was a graphical masterpiece, the story is quite messy. Just in terms of placement, I mean, they could have done such a better job, you know, to alleviate what they did with Abby and all that. Anyway, but yeah, what happened was Neil Druckmann went and did like a call to arms on Twitter. And mostly developers don't do that. Just, you know, they usually do the stuff where you're like, I'm just happy to be nominated. So for him to kind of rally the troops, all of his followers, it felt a little foolish. It felt like you were, you know, fucking, what did I call it? Like messing with the polls, stuffing the ballots, whatever. So yeah, like, it's not as if people don't do that. You see it all over social media, especially when it comes to like Instagram and all that. They'll definitely do that. Like, just recently, Xbox had a little competition. I think it was Twitter that was doing it, where they wanted to find like the best online brand on Twitter. It was one of these funny little competitions, and it ended up being locked in a heat between Skittles and Xbox. Don't ask me why, but there you go. And lo and behold, Xbox actually pulled it together. But once again, I was just talking about what Neil Druckmann did. They also had like a call to arms. So, you know, if you're gonna ask a whole lot of people to, you know, fucking vote on this, even most of them won't even look what they're voting on. They'll just do it. And they did win. But here's the funny thing. The cool thing that came out of this is they said if they won, they would make a whole lot of Xbox mini fridges. And that's what you got this picture here. Let me just get a better shot of it. That tiny little, that's an actual Xbox. And then the big thing behind it is the big fridge. They only made like 10 of those big fridges. They sent one to like Snoop Dogg and iJustine and a couple of these people. Random. But it was really cool. I actually, you could hear it was quite noisy though. But they're thinking of making the mini fridges. They're going to start making mini fridges out of it. But you got to give it to Xbox. Like, they can't name a console to save their life. And they've definitely taken it on, with all these kind of jokes around this thing being a giant fucking fridge. And instead of, you know, trying to move away from it, you know, from the old X-Boner days, they're actually leaning into it, and I like that. I like when companies can make fun of themselves, and in this case, we're going to get, like, mini fridges out of it. It's so funny. I remember, I think it was Stallion, the guy who got the first million gamer score. He held the Xbox Series X over his shoulder like a bazooka, and it looked like a real bazooka because of all the little dots in the top. It's a grand console, you know, I like it. They're both very nice. In the two new consoles, I actually think there's enough kind of difference between the two of them. And the way the Xbox is actually built, watching Digital Foundry make their own Xbox Series X was insane. How they did it, it was like watching Jenga or Tetris come together, how they fit it in there. But yeah, of course, at the end of the day, these are just pieces of plastic. It is the games that matter, you know. Most of them go in your entertainment unit and you never look at them again. Maybe just to take the disc out. Alright, cool. On to next piece of news. We got some nice news around Axiom Verge 2. Axiom Verge was one of those awesome indie darling games. Really, really cool little Metroidvania. Kind of very closer. Like a lot of Metroidvanias lean towards Castlevania. Not many go space creepy tentacle monsters in the Metroid side. And Axiom Verge definitely did. Very, very sci-fi. Yeah, and the developers, I think it's done like by one person, and I know we didn't hear too much about it. He kind of came back on the scene. He put Axiom Verge on the Switch. I think there was even like a limited run physical edition of it. And it's really cool. And now he's finally ready to talk about Axiom Verge 2. Hell yeah. See, look, there you go. The 2015's Axiom Verge. So it has been a minute. It has definitely been a minute. Holy moly. But indie game development it's a big, it's a big process. You might be like 2 years in and you lose all budgeting or something, Most of these indie developers remortgage their house just on the hopes, and then you could get one bad review and that's it. Dream's over and now you're on the street. It's crazy. It's crazy. They really are like wrestling with blood and fire. Yeah, solo developer. Solo fucking developer. You'll always be a PlayStation guy. That's cool. That's cool. At the end of the day, it's the games that bring you over there. Yeah, good for this guy. It's a prequel sequel hybrid. Don't you just love when they do that kind of stuff? Good God. So yeah, this is Game Informer reporting on it. Got that lovely pixel art. Looks like he's gone for a way more detailed main character as well. It's kind of cool. Let's see, is there any kind of release date for it? Seeing some nice screens. It's funny, we've had a lot of these kind of 2D side scrollers, and it's getting slowly harder to stand out from the pack for sure. You have a lot of runaway games like Celeste and that. You're like, Jesus, everybody's talking about it. A new one I'm playing now, Narita Boy, it's pretty special. I like it. Right. Hell yeah. Yeah, there seems to be way more detail. Like, the original Axiom Verge, you were no more than a little blob. It's funny, I see like, it's like a mining axe, a boomerang. So many crazy stuff up there. Jesus. And as we were just talking about earlier, I was watching Danny, he was playing Blasphemous. He did it all in one stream, 19 hours. It was very, very impressive. That game is amazing. That's another small indie studio based in Spain. They're called the Game Kitchen. It's like 6 or 7 of them. And yeah, it's really cool. Really great game. Very like embedded in European like religious vibes. But it makes for some incredible imagery and music. And yeah, it's nothing short of a little indie masterpiece for sure. I feel like the first couple of hours, you can kind of guess if you're going to fall in love or hate an indie game, Maybe even in the first hour. Maybe I'm being far too generous there. Yeah, that's Axiom Verge 2. I can't quite see. Okay, definitely getting Metroid vibes there. Holy crap. The bosses in this were brilliant as well. Very screen-sized bosses. Oh, little robot. Let's see. I'll scroll down to the bottom and see is there any sign of a release date or anything. Oop, this is mostly just a preview, which they don't tend to give. Let's see. Released on Switch and Epic Game Store sometime before the end of June. Okay, cool. Probably expect a small delay with that. We'll see. Alright, and then I was just talking about Doom earlier and the limited run stuff. But actually, just good timing. But Doom Eternal is on sale. Half off on Nintendo Switch right now. Which is damn impressive. That game is it's still worth full price. Without a shadow of a doubt. So to get it for $30 is an absolute fucking steal. I do believe it's also on the Game Pass now. Because of the Bethesda deal, which is, yeah, even crazier. Game Pass just continues to go from strength to strength. I don't quite get it. I don't get it sometimes. I'm still waiting for the arse to fall through and Microsoft to go, gotcha! We have implanted a chip inside your brain. We're working closely with Elon Musk. All your brains belong to us. No, they're not that bad, but Jesus. We have seen some foolish and stuff. We'll see if there's any credence to this Microsoft buying Discord rumor soon enough. Right now it's still much very like rumors and that. Apparently Epic and Amazon, I think, are both in the running as well. when you hear a little bit of rumor like, oh, Microsoft's gonna buy Discord, it's usually when they put their, you know, offer forward, and that's how the mainstream media gets hold of it. Well, fuck it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. At the end of the day, it's clear Discord are maybe in a little bit of trouble if they're out there, you know, wanting to sell. I mean, there's no real right company to buy these things because you just don't know. Microsoft has a history of closing down companies. I don't know. Like, people are still hating on the Epic Store, but it's still here. It's still doing things, you know, and being backed by, you might not like Fortnite, but being backed by Fortnite, it is just a money printing machine. So for them to buy something like Discord kind of makes sense, but they will never outbid Microsoft. You can't. You will never get the bottomless pits of the pockets of Bill Gates. My God, that lad. I've never seen so much like spending, and a lot of times they were doing it before like March 31st because that's the end of the financial quarter, you know. So they can basically buy these giant companies and go, okay, that's last year. Like, there's a rumor floating around that is why Nintendo shut down a lot of their Mario stuff. That was why they did it, so that they could basically say, okay, that's the end of that financial quarter, all the Mario stuff. This is how much Mario sold in that period. This is why artificial scarcity works, in their opinion, you know. And then they'll just bring it all back. I'm still convinced what they'll do is just split up the 3D All-Stars, where you can buy, you know, 64, Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy separately for like $20, and maybe we'll get Galaxy too. But I'm just a dreamer, damn it. I'm a dreamer. All right, cool. That is everything. That is your daily dose of gaming for today. Not a whole lot of news, but we went over some good stuff as usual. These are still a little bit early, so by the time I finish these, nude news has already broken out. It's always the way. But sure, look, I don't usually do these the weekend, so it leaves a little bit of news for Monday. But yeah, we got to see a little bit more from that ass from Resident Evil Village. Not a whole lot of stuff. I'm glad that if they are showing off a little bit of gameplay, let's just keep it really, really short. Resident Evil 7, I wouldn't say it was the longest of the Resident Evil games. But yeah, that's what I'm always worried about. You get to see too much of these games, you're like, hey, the first 10 hours is basically shown already or something, you know. I don't want that. Ba-bum, ba-bum. And then I talked about Sakaguchi's new Fantasia game. Now I said Fantasia. Fantasian. Damn it, now I said Fantasia. It's on the Apple Arcade as well as Platinum Games' brand new game. Please go support these devs if you have a compatible device. I believe Apple Arcade has some kind of deal where it's like $5 a month and you can play these games. So there really is nothing stopping you. If you're an old school fan, you want to see these games come back. Yeah, like these are the kind of games that I would double dip if they came to, you know, Switch and PlayStation and all that. I would double dip just to support the shit out of the devs. And yeah, Platinum Games' new game, World of Demons, just looks fucking amazing. Especially as I just got finished with Okami. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yes, please. More, please. Thank you, please. We're gonna move over now and play some SpiderMan. Miles Morales. Insomniac, out of nowhere, just dropped a lovely new suit, the advanced suit. Also, they talked about their new technology where they're using almost film quality muscle deformation and all this kind of stuff, which is really cool, you know. I mean, we're not going to see it really under the suit. You know, they're talking about being able to see Spider-Man breathe under the suit and all that. It's like, okay, but they are little wizards for sure. They're already using some form of machine learning over at Insomniac. Here's the thing, Insomniac are one of those developers that everybody slept on, right? They're nearly 30 years in the business. For fuck's sake. And of course they're known for like Ratchet and Clank. I get that. And you know, you're not going to say, hey, here's a graphical powerhouse. It's Ratchet and Clank. But let me tell you, the last couple of Ratchet and Clank games, the 2016 reboot and the new Rift Apart games, they are unbelievable looking. They look better than a Pixar movie. They look amazing. And now with the use of, you know, the new SSD and the new PS5, oh man, it is just instantaneous. All right, let me move over. So yeah, do not sleep on Insomniac. They'll be obviously working on another Spider-Man. I really hope we get Sunset Overdrive 2. Oh, I would love that. That game had so much potential. And it's one of my favorites on. It's why I bought an Xbox One. It's the only goddamn reason. And it was not a bad thing. Because here's the thing. I knew within the first couple of years that I was missing out on a lot of games. And, but yeah, here's the thing. I finally got the PS4. I'm like, yeah, you get to play all these games. It was awesome. And then I still have the Xbox. And now it's become my Game Pass machine. So I couldn't have asked for more than that. Jesus. It's the White Sunset Overdrive one. I still have the box. Such a cool game, you know. Sunset Overdrive feels like Tony Hawk's, Jet Set Radio, and Ratchet & Clank all had a big dirty orgy. Oh, no, Jesus! I'm telling you, if that doesn't sell a game, nothing will. That's disgusting. Thank you so much for joining me today. You guys are the best.